Cade Klubnik of Clemson and Kyle McCord of Syracuse. That's my all orange, all the time answer for you. Klubnik played by far the best game of his 3 years at Clemson. And he did it 1 week, remember, after being shut down and even embarrassed on national TV by those #1 Georgia Bulldogs, which led many in Clemson's own fan base to revisit those questions about Klubnik and about Coach Dabo Swinney's loyalty to the former prep star. I don't think I've ever seen 8 touchdown drives on 8 first-half possessions, but that is what the Tigers did to App State in Death Valley on Saturday night, and Klubnik was one of the big reasons why. The score was 56-13 at halftime. Klubnik got it all started with a perfect 73-yard throw to freshman receiver Bryant Wesco, hitting him in stride on the 3rd offensive snap of the game for the Tigers. In the end, Klubnik had only 2 incompletions on the entire night. He finished an almost robotic 24 for 26 for 378 passing yards and 5 TD passes before giving way to his backups in the second half against the Mountaineers. It was a truly brilliant performance by a guy who, remember, was considered by some the #1 high school quarterback in America back in 2021, but also someone who, of course, has not yet lived up to that hype consistently during his first 2 years with the Tigers or in that Georgia game. We'll see where he goes from here, but that was a sensational performance by Klubnik in Death Valley on Saturday. The other guy, Kyle McCord of Syracuse, he meanwhile leads the ACC in total offense right now at 372 yards per game, and he has the orange out to a 2-0 start after transferring in, remember, from Ohio State during the offseason. It is easy to forget, but Kyle McCord had a stellar 12-1 record as the starting quarterback for the Buckeyes after getting stuck behind C.J. Stroud for a couple of years. And just last year, McCord had 24 touchdown passes and only 6 interceptions for the Buckeyes. This story is fairly well documented by now, but I'll share it with our audience anyway. The brand new Syracuse head coach, Fran Brown, met with Kyle McCord last December, forget this, 7 straight hours when he visited Kyle McCord's family home in New Jersey, not far from where Fran Brown, the Syracuse coach, grew up in the Camden area. So they have that in common, right? As it turns out, these parts of Jersey are real close to my original hometown of Philadelphia, so I know the region well. And McCord basically played high school ball across the river from where Fran Brown, young Fran Brown, played his own high school ball in Camden, New Jersey. Anyway, one more small world wrinkle to this story. Obviously, Fran Brown did convince Kyle McCord to leave, to pick Syracuse, I should say, after deciding to leave Ohio State. Coach Fran Brown's wife once worked with Kyle McCord's dad at a local hospital in the greater Philadelphia area. That's small world if I've ever seen it on the recruiting trail or otherwise. Brown convinces McCord to be a centerpiece of Brown's first season with the Orange. Like a Cam Ward of Miami, who we talked a lot about last week, McCord plays with a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger, and he's showing that he too can make a lot of NFL-type throws that probably half the starting QBs in the ACC just cannot make and are usually not asked to make. In the Orange's 31-28 victory over, remember, what was at the time a top 25 Georgia Tech team on Saturday, McCord threw for almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns with 0 turnovers. He hit the star tight end, Oronde Gadsden II, for 2 scores, and he hit the veteran wideout Trevor Pena for 2 more scores. All 4 of those scoring throws, if you go back and look at them, required a really high level of accuracy. These were not 10-yard away screen passes. All 4 were downfield or on the sidelines, and all 4 were right on the money from Kyle McCord. That is a really good sign for Syracuse in year 1 under Fran Brown.